Welcome to the future of biohacking. I'm really excited to cover all of these things because peptides, nutraceuticals, biohacking, all of these different things together under one roof to give you really a holistic approach to your wellness. Again, Chanel Kozak-Jepson, Senior VP of Product Development for Singular, and just really thrilled about this new direction of marrying pharmaceuticals with nutraceuticals and getting those all in under one roof. This is the metabolic shift. I want you to think of microdosing as more of a whisper, not a shout. So you have traditional GLP-1 agonists at full doses. Those are for weight loss. Those are incredible for weight loss. They do a lot of other really incredible things for the body, and they can be compounded. So when you're going through this, whether you are going to be on a full dose or whether you're going to be on a microdose, just remember that when you work with your practitioner, you're able to compound some of these really cool things together as what your practitioner prescribes for you and your individual bio-individual needs. All right, so this is really cool because this medical, there's benefits really beyond weight loss. It's for people who are really looking for those benefits beyond weight lossing. Microdosing offers gentle communication, which means more signal and less static. When I think of peptides, they're these like cute little text messengers that tell your body what to do, right? They're saying be fuller for longer. They're saying have more energy, right? Healthy inflammatory response, all of these. So it's signals, but without all the static. Because what has happened over time is that our body just is not communicating the way it's supposed to. Uh, I will say that microdosing can be a little bit more smooth onboarding, possibly fewer GI side effects, and really more space to layer on what changes your outcomes, right? And so you're going to pair, whether you're on full dose or microdose, you're still going to pair it with the same protein, fiber, and movement. This is a full metabolic shift. It's really the difference. It's really the difference between a fire hose and a drip irrigation system, like you see on this scene or on the screen. On one hand, you got that fire hose, it's blasting, right? And that's what we see with full doses. Like you will see people who will drop weight, they'll drop weight quickly because of that full dose. Where microdosing is more of like a drip system. Okay, fire hose blast, the drip system just really kind of like just nourishes it a little bit more slowly. Both approaches are great. You'll work with your practitioner on whichever pathway is best for your body, and they'll be able to make sure that you're titrating up and all of those different things the way that you need to. All right, I want you to meet your incretins. When you eat, your gut releases GLP-1 and GIP. These are the body's natural, like satiety and glucose messengers. All right. These are going to cue your brain that you're full. They're going to help your pancreas release insulin only when needed. They're going to slow digestion so that you feel satisfied. They're going to support steady energy instead of kind of those like those sugar roller coasters, right? So microdosing a GLP-1 or a dual GLP-1 GIP agonist, it's not going to necessarily like replace your system, but it amplifies your system. So here are some of those signal amplifiers. And it's really cool to see how when we blend all of these things together, how they are going to really amplify the body. So here I have protein, fiber, your B vitamins, your NAD plus. You guys, NAD plus is so incredible as well. NAD plus is your cellular battery. So when I think of it, I think of your phone, right? When your phone is on 1%, which how many of you are sitting here today thinking, gosh dang it, guys, like my body is on 1% today. Well, when your phone's on 1%, when you go to open an app, it's like, it's like trying to open, right? You go to take a picture and the shutter is right? That's what's happening with us when our NAD plus levels drop. And those do start to, in conjunction with your collagen, your NAD plus levels start to drop as you age, which means less cellular energy, which means you're more tired, but and also you're going to have tired skin. You're going to have a tired body, right? You're even going to have a tired reproductive system. All of those things as your NAD plus goes down. So NAD plus is really cool and a really cool way to kind of amplify those signals. Uh, so I'm going to think of peptides are kind of, they're the text messengers, but think of the nutrients like the tower, okay? If the tower is weak, even the clearest message is going to get lost. And that's why we here at XMD Wellness believe in a full approach. Nutraceuticals, pharmaceuticals, diet, lifestyle, movement, sleep. All of these together, this is what's going to create a strong cell tower so that when these peptides come in, right, you have clear messages without the static. So the reason why peptide microdoses are often they're paired with key cofactors. So we're going to go into these. So a lot of times they're paired with maybe B vitamins or NAD plus or choline or carnitine. These are so that your cells can hear what the peptides are saying. Okay. So I want to dive in real quick into core microdose. This is our very core microdose. So this is going to have GLP-1, GIP, methionine, inositol, B12, choline chloride, and who this is for. If you are just starting out your metabolic journey, maybe you've hit midlife, okay? Maybe you feel your metabolic health has shifted. Only 12% of Americans are even considered metabolically healthy. Let me say that again. Only 12% of Americans are metabolically healthy, which means everybody else is walking around with obesity, blood sugar, blood pressure, diabetes, all of these metabolic concerns, right? So if you're sitting there and you're like, I just want to start off by supporting my metabolic journey, then the core microdose is for you. This is your first peptide protocol. Maybe you have been on a peptide before and you just were a little bit sensitive to a higher dose and you want gentle appetite support, liver balance, and mental clarity. Okay. I think this will probably be the peptide that the microdose that most people would choose. This is kind of your foundation. This is the metabolic baseline builder. Like when I'm saying we are part of the metabolic shift, we want to shift these numbers. We don't want just 12% of Americans to be metabolically healthy, right? We want a lot more. And just recently, they changed the definition of obesity, and they're saying roughly 70% of Americans are overweight or obese, right? And that number has dramatically changed over these new guidelines surrounding things like visceral fat. Uh, and so we really want to be the beginning of this metabolic shift and the change and the future. So I want you to think of core as your foundation, the metabolic baseline builder. This is leveling the floor maybe before you bring in the furniture. Um, you are going to, with this one, most people, like most users, earlier fullness, calmer cravings, steadier energy, and improved digestion. All right, I want to go in to some of the great ingredients. All right, sorry, my light. All right, so first, of course, we have GLP-1, satiety, glucose balance. This is going to help reinforce your fullness cues, right? This is going to help you to feel full. A microdose does not do this at the same level as a full dose, all right? So just keep that in mind. Microdosing has a different objective than a full dose. All right, that is GLP-1. And then you have GIP. This is your partner in creatine, aiding in lipid. So that's your fat, glucose, sugar metabolism. So this is going to help smoother balance and or smooth out that tolerance, but then it's also going to help with balanced energy. Then we have methionine. This is an amino acid that is great for detox, for liver support, fat metabolism. This is going to help clear out metabolic waste and support your liver. So This one is incredible. And then we have inositol. Inositol is really, really cool. I personally have been using inositol for years. It's a B type vitamin. It supports insulin sensitivity and really calms focus. It promotes steady mood and really the way your body is handling glucose. So inositol is really great for that. Then you have vitamin B12. I feel like everyone knows what vitamin B12 is, but this is going to help with energy and red blood cell function and really cool. It helps with energy metabolism and methylation and all of these really cool things. We also have vitamin B12 in certain supplementation. All right, choline chloride. This is most notably known for your brain. Women who are having babies, when you're pregnant, they always tell you to take choline because it helps. It helps actually form the cognition and the brain of a baby, right? But it also helps with your brain. And it's also going to help with fat transport and that brain signaling. This is going to support focus and healthy fat metabolism. That is all within the core one. Okay, so core one really is going to help with some earlier fullness, calmer craving, steadier energy, and just kind of more improved digestion. The next one is going to be the energy and mind microdose. Okay, this one is for those struggling with brain fog, fatigue, low motivation. Maybe you're apathetic, which apathetic just means you don't have a lot of drive, you don't have a lot of motivation. Okay, people maybe wanting cognitive clarity. They want steady energy, but without stimulants, without so much caffeine. This is going to be great for professionals, parents, anyone who feels like they're burning the candle at both ends. Okay. I like to think of this as your metabolic espresso shot. This is cellular energy, mental sharpness, but without the crash. You have that GLP-1, GIP, NAD plus. I'll go into all of the ingredients, but this is like your espresso shot, metabolic espresso shot. I look at this, I'm like, okay, you're gonna have more daytime focus, you're gonna have smoother energy, and even stronger workout consistency. Let's go ahead and jump into the ingredients. Once again, GLP-1 and GIP. This is your metabolic rhythm. This is your conversation amplifier, right? This is your satiety and glucose communicator, foundation for the rhythm. Okay. And then you have NAD plus. This is going to help with ATP production, cellular repair. This is going to support mitochondrial function and resilience. I love NAD plus so much. I cannot say that enough. Amazing. Vitamin B12. This is going to help, obviously, nervous system, maintain energy, cognitive performance. That. So that is that microdose called Energy Plus Mind. Now going into glucose control microdose. This is an oral dissolvable tablet, okay? This is going to have the tirzepatide, which is GLP-1 and GIP. Here, I'll go into it real quick. Uh, but who this is best for is you want to be on cruise control for your blood sugar. Because one of the things we find is that blood sugar spikes and plummets are really bad for your health. If you're sitting there and maybe you graze all day, right? You're just like a little snacky snack all day long, or you're craving carbs all day. Uh, Maybe you are a busy traveler and you want this for convenience, right? Because it's a little bit more, it's harder to maybe travel with your vial that has to be refrigerated. So you want some blood sugar support while traveling, right? But in an oral dissolvable tablet. If you're sitting there and you want to focus on glucose balance and really hone in on mindful eating. Once again, this is not going to be like a full dose, which is really going to turn off food noise in a bigger way, but this will help you to have more mindful eating. This is your cruise control button. It's designed to really help with those post-meal spikes, help you stay stable between meals. A lot of user feedback on this one was steadier energy, easier meal spacing, and they felt like less reactive to hunger, right? They didn't feel like that how do I explain this? Like that urge, that like that thing that pushes you to think like, oh, I have to snack all the time, right? So this is great for those ones. Let's go ahead and deep dive into a little bit of the ingredients again. So this is, once again, this is your tirzepatide, your GLP-1, GIP agonist. This is going to just really help kind of like just dull that noise, that static for food. And then, of course, you have inositol. Once again, I love this. It aids in insulin sensitivity, mood balance. It's going to provide smooth energy and also help you with focus throughout the day. The next one is muscle plus energy microdose. I'm just going to share like a little bit personal. So this is one that if I was to choose to microdose, this is the one I would personally choose because I'm 39 years old and I know how important muscle is for longevity, how important muscle is for your metabolism, how important muscle is at protecting everything, joints, all of the things, right? Muscle is so important. And as we age, our muscle declines. However, this does have to be paired with working out, right? But this does help to improve that. So this is going to be your tirzepatide, so your GLP-1, GIP. This is going to have NAD+, this is going to have L-carnitine, and this is going to have B12, which I'll deep dive into those ingredients a little bit more. But this is really going to be for active adults who want to rebuild or build lean mass while on peptides. Like if that's your goal, this is what I would choose. If you are a perimenopausal or postmenopausal woman who is focused on strength and body recomposition, and anyone really who wants to optimize performance, recovery, and your metabolism all together. This is your metabolic pit crew, right? Fuel in, energy and clean out, or sorry, fuel in, energy out, clean laps. Okay. Like this is your pit crew. This user feedback on this one was that people had better stamina, right? So they had better stamina, stronger workouts, improved recovery, and just really an increased motivation to move. Okay, so that is muscle plus energy. Like I said, really great for these specific people. So let's go ahead and deep dive into the ingredients. Once again, like this is just the hero of all of them, right? This is your tirzepatide, your glucose support, satiety, glucose balance. This is just going to help support healthy energy use. And then you're going to have NAD plus. NAD plus, I'm just going to repeat these just so that you really feel like you understand what each one does. Energy metabolism, DNA repair, mitochondrial efficiency, cellular battery, like this is your charging, right? Is your NAD plus. Now, the new one that we haven't talked about yet is L-carnitine. L-carnitine is very well known and very well documented. It helps to fat transport. It's going to help with the mitochondria. It's going to support endurance and recovery. This one is really what makes this muscle, right? This is the muscle one. So that is L-carnitine. And then you have B12, right? This is also going to help with energy and nerve health. This really complements NAD plus and L-carnitine. All right. I'm going to talk about a little bit on the GI onboarding, all of this. So most onboarding issues that people have seen while on a GLP-1 agonist is can really be smoothed out in these ways. Slow dose increases, work with your practitioner. That is one of the reasons why microdosing, because you take a full dose. So on a full dose, you have above, like you have like the highest dose there, and you have a low dose. You have all of those in between, right? And your practitioner can work with you on where and there you're going, right? A microdose is not a full dose. It's not even a small on the full dose. It's an itty bitty bitty microdose, okay? It's way down here. It's an itty bitty microdose compounded with these other things. And so they do have different outcomes and different things may happen. So one, if you're up here, right, always work with your practitioner on slow dose increases. Make sure that you're hydrated, that you have those electrolytes, that you are intaking enough fiber every day. You want prebiotics, probiotics. That's going to help with regularity and really comfort. Here are the lifestyle. Okay, so when I talked to earlier, peptides are just one part of the story, right? Peptides are the text messages. These are the signal amplifiers. Okay, so I want you guys to really focus on these because these will kind of nudge you. These microdoses can help nudge you into making really great choices. And take this time to really implement these things and make them habits, make them non-negotiables, make them parts of your day that you will never stop, right? So while you're getting this help from the microdoses, incorporate these things, and that is going to make your life so much better. Like, I'm so excited for you guys to pair these. This is just going to help you implement these life size pillars in a much better way. So, first and foremost, protein. 30 grams per mil or 2.5 grams of leucine. This is going to help preserve muscle. This is why we love clear protein, right? Clear protein has only 20 grams of protein, but it still hits 2.5 grams of leucine. Right? So that is like ideal. Okay. So we have protein. You're going to want to make sure you're eating throughout the day because your food noise is dulled. You might eat less. And if you're going to eat less, sometimes you get less nutrition. So you want to really focus on what you are intaking is of quality. All right. Fiber, you guys, fiber is like the forgotten macro for some reason. So many people forget about it, but only 5% of Americans are even getting in enough fiber. 5%. Like this is why we have such a huge issue. Fiber is what or like prebiotic fiber is what your microbes are going to eat. They're going to make short chain fatty acids. Those create these L cells. L cells produce GLP-1, but we're not even taking in fiber, so now we're all GLP-1 deficient. Okay, so like that fiber is so important. So you're going to want around 8 to 12 grams of fiber per mil. This is going to help with gut and glucose support. Movement. I cannot sell movement. I wish I could package it up in something delicious for you to take, but I can't. You just have to do it. Okay. Movement. You're going to want to get 7 to 10,000 steps plus 2 to 4 resistant training sessions per week. If you're sitting there and you never move and you don't work out, you can like just start like with 2 a week, right? Build your way up. You don't have to be all or nothing, right? Just make these little things, take the stairs, park a little further from the grocery store, right? Just all of these little things to get in more movement throughout the day. Take breaks at work, do some squats to get your blood flowing, but strength training, right? We need muscle. Muscle is very important. All right, micronutrients. You want micronutrients, multivitamin with B's, magnesium, all of those different things. Micronutrients are going to be really key as well as minerals. Sleep plus light. Okay, so morning light exposure and a consistent bedtime. These are really important. Also, I take NAD Dreams because it has the precursors for NAD plus. Like I said, I love NAD plus, and because NAD plus in a shot doesn't last as long, I also do NAD Dreams in order for my body just to naturally do it outside of that as well. So I would do like if I was to pick this path, I would personally do both. Okay. So NAD dreams because it's not enough just to sleep. We need to sleep deep. We need our REM sleep. We need true restorative sleep, and that is so key for your health, for your metabolic system, all of that. One also not on the screen is mindset. Okay. This is the metabolic shift. We are building metabolic literacy. We are not chasing down quick fixes. We are not saying this is going to do this quick, right? Like we are changing the game. We're adding in our signal amplifiers. We're adding in our microdosing. We're not just chasing quick fixes. This isn't something you go on and you go off. Like it is so important that this, like you're in this for the long game, okay? Because that longevity matters. All right, I want to talk real quick about zombie cells. These, I know it sounds so creepy. So you have a healthy cell and then you have a zombie cell. Okay. As your metabolism stabilizes, you are also improving your mitochondrial function and your cellular turnover. Both are key longevity levers. Like longevity, right? This is you think I don't want to just live a long life. I want to live a life for a long time. Like that is longevity, right? That is my game. Like that is what I want is I want to be healthy and I want to live a full life. I want to be running around with my kids, one day grandbabies, right? Like I am working towards that life all the time. And so this is really key. But what's really cool is as your metabolism stabilizes, once again, you're improving your mitochondrial function and your cellular turnover, which is really cool. So nutrition, strength training, sleep, stress management, these are your daily senolytics. Okay, those are the things that you need to do daily. So we have our different, like kind of choose your track. Okay, here are 4 different ones. We have core. This is your gentle start, liver and satiety focus. You have your glucose control. This is smooth glucose and appetite control. We have energy plus mind, which is focus, motivation, cognitive clarity, right? And then we have muscle plus energy. This is going to be your strength and performance, right? So, like I said a little bit earlier, if like you're going to pick core if you are just new to peptides, you have a sensitive system. Energy plus mind, if you are a professional or a parent, you're a high stress performer, this is the one, right? Um, Glucose control, busy, travel heavy, needle averse, right? But you really like you care about your A1C, your blood sugar, right? That is glucose control. And then muscle plus energy, active adults, perimenopausal, postmenopausal women, and just active, like I said, active adults. So that's men as well. So each path begins with the same mission. You saw a lot of repetition here. So each path begins with the same mission: regulate or improve, enhance, support. Each path begins with the mission of supporting your metabolism, restoring your energy, rebuilding your confidence. Your clinician can personalize your dosing outside of microdosing, right? On those, like if you're on the full, like a full dose, right? Work with your practitioner on on dosing, on your personalized compounding. This is going to make your lifestyle powerful. I have been doing this obviously for a very long time. I first started in the medical field, and I saw women get overlooked. In studies, I see a lot of studies just exclusively done on men. And there are a lot of different things that I wish were different. And that is why this mission is so important for me. This is a mission of advocacy. This is the metabolic shift. This is science made simple. This is care made human. This is results built on lifestyle. We are closing the gap. We are bringing metabolic core to homes across America. We are helping people understand their biology. We are making, when people understand their biology, they make better choices. We want those amplifiers. We want that lifestyle with the microdosing. Okay. So when you understand your biology, you're going to make better choices. When you have access, it's going to change your life. I want you to go out there and like for me, like my personal ethos is to advocate, educate, and formulate. Those are my 3 cores. And I am so excited to bring that mission of advocacy to thousands upon thousands. And soon millions of people, to be able to share the message with someone who really needs help and a plan. They need hope. Uh, I'm just really excited about healthcare with heart, where we have a built-in community that cares, practitioners, care support. You'll work with your practitioners, you'll have a care team, you'll have access to professionals. You do not have to rely on somebody else. You don't have to rely on your neighbor or your friend. It's like, no, you have a practitioner who cares and who's going to help. Uh, but you have a community to support you on your journey. And that is healthcare with heart. And I am so excited for us to get out there and really just change and share this, and for you guys to see the power behind peptides. Once again, all information today was educational. Please partner with your licensed clinician for prescription, for labs, for personalized guidance. Thank you so much for taking the time to be with me today. Have a good day.